Well, it turns out that very small particles with dimensions less than about 10 nanometers are excellent catalysts or sensors because of their large surface area to volume ratio. Here's a plot from one of my colleagues at Stanford, Jens Norskov, where he plots the catalytic activity for CO oxidation on gold nanoparticles as a function of the diameter of the gold particle. And as you might expect, gold is a noble metal, so in bulk form it's catalytically inactive. In fact, it's thermodynamically unfavorable for reactions to occur on the surface of gold. And yet, when the size of a gold nanoparticle is reduced to below about 5 nanometers, the catalytic activity increases exponentially, and small gold nanoparticles are in fact some of the best catalysts for CO oxidation. So my group was really interested in probing some of these reactions, some of these catalytic reactions, using the plasmon resonances of individual nanoparticles. But it turns out that probing the plasmonic properties of such small particles is challenging. First of all, when you reduce the size of nanoparticles, they're characterized by extremely weak optical scattering. Absorption tends to dominate more than optical scattering. So what you might do is conduct an experiment where you overcome that weak optical scattering by just having more particles in solution. But then you're going to suffer from heterogeneity by doing an ensemble measurement. So if you're dealing with such small particles that only have dimensions on the order of 1 to 2 nanometers, then of course your line widths might broaden, because if you have one particle that's 1 nanometer across and another particle that's 2 nanometers across, this heterogeneity is really going to impact your optical response. Another important factor that makes it rather challenging to look at the surface plasmon resonances of small particles is ligands. Most particles tend to be made colloidally, where they have long carbon chains to kind of stabilize the particles in solution. And I told you that surface plasmons were sensitive to the refractive index of